Fox fam, we're gonna get started here in just 1 second, so hang on tight. GM Fox fam, good to have you with us on this snowy day in Denver. Welcome to the weekly governance call, number 24. Can't believe it's been 24 of these. Pretty cool. Sorry for my absence last week, fam. I'm still recovering from COVID, so I might be a little slower to talk than normal, so I can make sure that I keep my nausea at bay and breathe correctly. But thankfully the agenda's not too stacked, so we'll have plenty of time for my pauses, and we'll maybe even give some people some time back. Doesn't look like there's a psycho. Oh man. All right. Well, we kicked lo-fi anyways. One of these days we'll get really nice faders all the time. But thank you for whoever removed that there for me. So yeah, if this is your first time, sorry my energy's a little low. I'm gonna check myself. If this is your first time joining us, this is the weekly ShapeShift DAO governance call. We host these weekly to go over the status of all things that are going on inside the ShapeShift Fox forum, or that are hosted at the boardroom or snapshot for proposals that we vote on with our Fox. So this is a great forum for new people coming to the DAO to come get involved and get interested. You never know if you've got an idea that you can put through our ideation process and make it into a proposal and see it as a feature that yourself or someone else out there in the DAO can work on and contribute to and make into a feature here. So in order to do that, we have this nice process that we've been organizing, and you can join us on this call weekly to have your voice be heard. So the way you can have your voice be heard is by raising your hand throughout this call. I'll try and bring you up if it's relevant, or also there's a nice handy little ShapeShift DAO stage chat over there on the left. So feel free to type any questions that you have there when we've got our presenters up here on stage, and we will get to your questions as they come up. If you're looking for the slides that I'm going to be referring to throughout this, they are connected on the Zoom link that's just a little bit higher up there on that ShapeShift DAO stage chat. And without further ado, I'm going to take it away. Awesome new gift from Great. Excuse me, guys. Sorry, I'm so sick. Awesome new gift from Gray Machine here. Love that. I'm going to be using that all the time. Going into the agenda, we start with proposals that have recently passed, and then we move on to any current proposals that are up for votes, and then we move into proposals that are in the ideation phase and just right now getting polls on favor and community sentiment. And then we move on to forums posts that are maybe still the breadcrumb or the seeds of something that's going to become a nice proposal, or maybe it's a an update from a specific work stream or something like that, a one-off. We'll get to those, and then we'll have some time to talk about this process if we'd like. We've actually got a proposal about the governance process, so maybe we'll skip that part of it, but we'll also leave some time at the end for Q&A. So if anyone has any questions, DAO related, this is usually a good call, and it's got some great representation across work streams to have your voice be heard. All right, so kicking us off, we did have one proposal pass, and that was the revised liquidity mining and LP token purchases from Kent. GM, good sir.
Welcome back, my friend. I'm glad you're on the road to recovery.
Yeah, it's quite a long road, but I've got a whole bunch of Dayquil and Mucinex and vitamins of every alphabet letter you can think of. So yeah. They're all on my side.
COVID doesn't have a chance. Cool. So yeah, this is an interesting proposal. This passed by unanimous consent. If you're not familiar with it, take a look on Snapshot. But this was an important piece of our tokenomics strategy, because it really it outlines the next phase of our liquidity mining program. And by phase, I'm referring specifically to the next 4.5 month period following the end of the current phase, which is at the end of February. We were able to get this hashed out and mapped out well in advance of the actual end of the current phase, which is great because this will let us get everything kind of planned out and with respect to implementation. So TLDR it's a continuation of our current liquidity mining. That's really going to be pretty much unchanged, and that's in terms of the amount that we're spending on liquidity mining. The key difference here is that we're also going to accompany this with aggressive purchases of our own liquidity via the Fox to ETH bond. This is great because it's going to allow us to start to own our own liquidity, and inherently, because these are Fox ETH liquidity tokens, we also get exposure to ETH. ETH is not exactly a stable coin, quite the opposite. But even though our number one goal is to right now is to get stablecoin exposure as a hedge against a bear market, getting a more diversified crypto treasury is also a very good goal. Having ETH exposure, having say Bitcoin, other quote blue chips is a good thing to have. So it's going to be nice to get this underway. One thing worth noting here is we did not spell out in a lot of detail exactly how this would be implemented. And the reason, I'll just quote from the proposal, this ambiguity is intentional. It leaves our team enough flexibility with respect to both position sizing and timing to react to market feedback. So, we didn't want to hem ourselves in by, stating our exact tactics for executing this. We want to be nimble. We also want to be mindful of if we are in a huge sell-off, or maybe things are going back up, how does that impact our strategy? We want to be able to gradually test things as we implement it, not exactly just go full bore right out of the gate. But we'll be doing this very methodically, and again, we have some time to prepare for this too, which is nice. So for updates on that moving forward, just take a look at the tokenomics channel, and this will be a common theme. Pretty much every tokenomics chat on Tuesday we'll be discussing this because it is an important piece. So yeah, that's about it.
Awesome, thanks, Kent. And I apologize, I missed your guys' last tokenomics. I was out sick. But does any of this strategy here has this been shaped by the current market specifically? Have you guys been talking about how we might be needing to do some things now currently with this, or are you guys at a wait and see approach?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'd say it's generally a more market agnostic approach. Of course, when we designed this proposal, Fox was a lot higher. If Fox continues to sell off, that could impact the total amount we'll be doing for the buybacks, just the sheer fact it would take more Fox to affect that. And then maybe there's an argument for, okay, we don't want to use too much of our overall Fox treasury, but I don't think so. Another thought is, in terms of our planned liquidity mining program, as a budgetary cutting measure, we could potentially decide to reduce liquidity mining rewards just in order to save, money. We're spending millions on liquidity mining right now. I don't think we're at that point yet, but yeah, things could certainly change. But as of right now, this is pretty market agnostic.
Awesome. Glad you guys designed that to be as such. So no one likes weekends.
Yeah, it'd be fun to put this into place finally.
Mm-hmm. Well, I appreciate it, Kent, and exciting to see that you guys are continuing up with the revision of this, and that we got unanimous support.
Thanks, Tyler.
Hey, Kent, can you hang out for 1 sec?
Yeah.
From an engineering perspective, right, we need to be able to support the staking for this new V3 staking contract. Do you know when we want that to be available on fox.shapeshift.com?
You're talking specifically about Uniswap V3?
Uniswap V3 liquidity pool, the new staking contract. We got the new staking contract. We worked on that. Ocean worked on that, but we need to then work on the front end to be able to add that as a staking opportunity and a liquidity providing opportunity.
So yeah, in the context of this proposal, at least, we're talking about our V2 liquidity from the existing pool. It's not written with an eye towards any sort of.
Oh yeah, V3. No, it's not a new liquidity pool. Thank you. It's just a new staking contract.
Right. I don't know. I haven't really considered that, and it hasn't actually crossed my radar yet. I don't know if anybody else would have any insight into that. But this is that's another component we're going to have to think about, especially in the context of prioritizing that along with other engineering needs.
Hey everybody. So the language from the proposal just posted in the stage chat. I think this answers the question, Josh, is that on February 22nd at 9 a.m., the third round of liquidity mining rewards will start. And we're doing the same thing that we've done in the past, where the current round will end on February 24th. So there will be a 48-hour overlap when the rewards are running on both the second round of farming and the third round of farming.
Okay. So the rewards need to begin at 9 a.m. on February 22nd. Okay,
exactly.
Got it. Thank you. That's it.
Yeah. Pardon the confusion. I was conflating that with V3 Uniswap. One other thing to mention here with implementation is we and this is also spelled out in the language, but the existing Olympus bond committee will be managing the different parameters of this and keeping an eye on it, because everybody, you guys on the Olympus committee have done such an excellent job with our existing bond program. It seemed like a natural fit, and it looks like there's support amongst the committee for doing that, which will be a tremendous help as we put this into place.
For sure. Thank you for all the collaboration there, Foxes, on getting that all together. All right. Moving right along, we do have. This one is not passed yet. This is an active proposal. I need to fix my language on there. But next up, we have Mr. Perklin, M. Perklin, with FOXCHAIN. You out there in the audience, good sir. See if you're around and bring you up. Does not look like it. I will say that I do know that M. Perklin has had a whole bunch of conversations around FOXCHAIN. There's even a dedicated FOXCHAIN channel with a whole bunch of updates as well. And in my absence last week, Willie was up here chatting with Michael about all things FOXCHAIN. I don't know quite how much more I need to add on top of everything that's already been shared. Other than if you just heard me say the word FOXCHAIN 10 times and you have no idea what I'm talking about, please direct yourself to that channel first. There's some great videos, There's some great resources of information, and it is a future blockchain we're planning to build based on the Cosmos SDK to help provide back-end decentralized infrastructure for our front-end provided services. And then for other crypto services to use as well beyond just ourselves. Might as well build something for us and give it out to the rest of the world as well. That's what open source is about, right? So this proposal is sitting at 4.22 million votes. We've got until the 31st before this is up. I'm going to change my grammar to say that as active for now, and we will keep the train moving. Ideation and boardroom is still out. I spend a minute on this every governance call until we get some more details from Snapshot. It looks like there was a slight update, but the service is still down right now. So our governance process is post in the forum, create a second post of ideation that follows the template in the forum, and then once you've gotten the feedback and appropriate thumbs up from the community, move that template over to boardroom for live voting, or Snapshot for live voting. All right, now moving on to proposals and ideation. We've got two of them up, and they're both labeled as SCP-58, so I'm not sure who the real SCP-58 is. But we've got Miss and J. Purdy from Messari. Are either of you guys in the audience? Oh, that's right. Miss is taking a rain check on speaking, but I've got Ron up here. I will check that out and edit it on my end and see if we can reach out to the author and have them edit it on their end. If you guys haven't been watching the Messari saga with this proposal, this isn't the first iteration of this. Messari came to us looking to find funding for kind of a much bigger project, and this is kind of a more scaled down scope of just a report. For a smaller price. So there's a lot of details in there, and there's a poll up right now with some mixed results in as far as how the community is feeling. So if you haven't voted there yet, please check out the details about the Messari report. That could potentially get us a lot of exposure for the ShapeShift DAO and have us start to be integrated with that really cool data set, Messari. All right. Moving right along. I'm glad this isn't a stacked agenda with how sick I'm feeling, guys. This would be brutal if I was ushering 50 people today. New forum posts. I didn't see a Discord username for the person who posted this, Raha. But we had a MIT student come into our forum post, and they're doing a research project around DAOs and the future of work in general, and kind of the makeup of contributors to the DAO. And so there was a really thoughtful post in the forum that has kind of some open-ended questions about what's going on here, and maybe how we could help shape this introspective research that's being done about DAOs. Hey Kent, seeing you're hopping up on as well. Any thoughts about this?
Yeah, just a little color on this. So I had a chance to talk to Raha for about an hour last week. So yeah, she's with MIT. If you guys have an opportunity to connect with her, it's a really good discussion. I am a big fan of all of us in crypto talking to people in academia, because you see a lot of misconceptions in the academic world about crypto. You know, people think it's just a money grab, or there's all sorts of bad takes on it. And I have some different theories of why this is so common in the academic world. But what happens in academia also, or often, influences policy via lobbying, and especially think tanks, and of course, via like articles that are disseminated in the mainstream media. So this is a cool opportunity to connect with somebody who's really taken a keen interest in not just DAOs, but specifically what we're doing. She had a lot of really good questions. It's well informed. She mentioned she had been to one of the Wyoming crypto events, and of course, our neighbors up to the north here in Colorado, up in Wyoming, are big proponents of more of a free market approach with respect to crypto. So yeah, take a look at what she wrote, and if you have an opportunity, I think she'd appreciate your insight, everybody.
Awesome. Thanks, Kent. Yeah, I plan on reaching out to Raha myself. And Raha, if you're listening to this afterwards, I apologize if I misgendered you. It's super awesome to have women in tech, women in the blockchain, and to have your interest here. So yeah, super excited that you chose us for this research here, and we will do our best to get some community members to reach out to you to have some ongoing discussions. And then moving on to the last thing we've got to discuss today is a proposal that I just snuck into the forum just a couple of minutes ago before this call started, and that is a proposal to fund the operations workstream, the proposal that I am a workstream leader for, to fund them, us, we collectively, for a second term, which would be from February 1st to July 31st. The total budget for this that is scoped right now inside the forum is $411,000 over the course of 6 months. And the biggest changes on this budget come down to an increase in test fund budgets. We definitely blew through and went over budget on test funds on 2 of the 4 months last term. And additionally, 1 more ops assistant to be hired in waves, hiring 2 in February and 2 in May. And really outside of that, the budget is the same as it was from the previous. There's no raises being given to any of the roles. We are continuing on with myself as the leader, and Ron, T. Shifty, Lich, and Never Was as the operations assistants, with hopes to hire 2 and then 2 more ops assistant roles. There's some links to our Notion and some really great repos that I've been spending time while I've been sick, updating and collating together. And they will continue to have more information added to those. And there will be a full review of the first term of operations that will be added as well. That'll go more in detail with the budget and things like that. But that's kind of the operations renewal in a nutshell. I'm happy to answer questions if people have any about what operations does or anything like that. But if you're a participant of this call who's been around for more than one, you've seen what one of the things I do here. But additionally, the things like the ops sprint or any of our go-no-goes or our retros, or if you happen to see any of the ops assistants working inside triage, you see what we do on a day-to-day basis with engineers and product. Hey, John, it's John. How's it going?
Hey, Tyler. Going well. I was just reading over this post just before the call, so glad to see it highlighted here. And I kind of just wanted to hop up and just commend that. I feel like the ops Workstream, really all the work streams, but Ops has been doing a really great job. Was one of the first to step up, later last year. And I'm really happy to see just the progression on this and how you all are approaching this, and keeping reasonable with your requests, and just, I'm in full support of this moving forward from what I can see. I also really appreciate how you all set out a number of falsifiable goals to track. I think that's, we're seeing that more and more with work streams, and that's really great to see. So nice job on this proposal. You'll have my support on it.
Awesome. Thanks, John. It's John. Yeah, I've been working real hard to make sure we can lead by example here. And if I wasn't so freaking sick, I would have even gotten this proposal in time that we wouldn't have a gap. But unfortunately, this proposal will fall into the governance process timeline situation in which we will be voting on this after February 1st. But this proposal goes starting on February 1st. So that is a little hitch here, but there's no expected gaps in services or maintenance or support that operations foresees through this time.
Yeah, I saw that too, and I thought that was another great example, and is I think a good thing for other work streams to learn from. Sometimes I think those preferably you try to avoid those timing issues, but things will come up, they'll happen. And I think the way that you're going about it is a great way for whether it's a committee ending or a work stream ending and needing to be renewed, to basically operate optimistically. Keep working on at the behest of the community, and unless you see some serious pushback that it's not going to pass, kind of just assume that it will. I think that's the right way to go about it, and I appreciate you all doing that.
Awesome. Well, thank you for the kind words and your backing and support. Happy to answer any questions folks might have around ops if you got them. I know I just run this really quickly, so people need some time to gestate, so I'm happy to answer in the forum as well. But hey, GM Josh.
Hey, GM Tyler. So I gave it a quick glance. I do have to read some of the details towards the bottom with goals and KPIs and all that kind of stuff. So I can't wholeheartedly support it at this point, but in general, you totally have my support, as does the entire operations workstream. Has been amazing for the engineering workstream to work with. So big kudos there. And then I think you made a pretty kind of, I don't know if you call it a Freudian typo or not, but your last budget item above the total is discretionary, kind of like digressionary funds. I think you meant discretionary funds.
That's definitely a slip, and I will update and put the right D word there.
Like, well, you need some money to digress? Come on, that's what we do on our off time.
Oh yeah, definitely. That line item as well, just for reference, was keyed in to be $100 per contributor that we have per month. And the last term, all of those were split up between all of the contributors to try and reimburse some gas. But it also could be used to say, get someone a birthday present, or cover some something that might come up inside there that would help provide more efficiencies to our workstream contributors.
Yeah, I think it's an important thing to have in there. I'm glad it's there. I just got a good kick out of that. Thanks.
Appreciate it, Josh. All right, fam. Well, I will definitely update my grammar and typos across the board in both my slides and my proposal. And thank you guys for checking me on those. Even if I'm sick, I gotta at least go through spell check, So thank you very much, guys. This is quite a short governance call. I don't have much more here except for some space to go over some Q&A if you guys have any. So if there's anything that was brought up today that you'd love to hop on stage and chat with, I don't see any hands raised right now, but I definitely can bring anyone up. And if not, then I do have a slight surprise. and I make no promises that it actually works. But in the background, myself and GK have been working with our POAP bot to try and confirm that everyone who was on this governance call that did not deafen themselves and did not leave for a full continuous 10 minutes of this call should have been marked by our bot as an attendance to this call. And so hopefully once we're all done here, we're going to click a couple of buttons and you all should somehow get a method to retrieve the POAP for this call. And if that went successfully, it won't be such a secret in the future. I will be retiring my POAP King crown. We will have a massive POAP masterclass for people from marketing and growth and any other contributors that are interested in creating POAPs for our calls to join. And we will decentralize and DAO these POAPs to the masses. So I hope it worked. If it didn't work, then the surprise is that there's no surprises. POAPs still don't work. So that's all I've got for you, fam. Thank you very much for joining us. If you haven't gotten COVID already, please be safe. Get your booster. Take care of yourself. Drink lots of water. Get lots of rest. And we'll see y'all next week, Fox fam. Make it a good GM.